Hi, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. I'm at my house, Scooter McKay's at his house. Josh Henning back at the studio, but the Jersey Shore is hopping. And Scotty McKay, man, we got horse racing back. I'm excited to have my first guest on today. He's a handicapper. He's got a great website, fastlanehandicapper.com. I know when we get to talk to him, it's springtime. But now we're into summer because today is the first day of summer, right? The summer solstice. So let's go to the Barb's Harley-Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room from the fastlanehandicapper.com, Jeffrey Nash. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, Billy. How are you guys doing? It's great to be on as
Jeff,
always.
It's good to talk to you.
Hey, Bill, I didn't know that you had an Ocean City house. I want to give a shout-out to all the police in Ocean City, Brian Madison, and the men and women who served in blue. They do a great job, and I'm going to have them look at you and your summer house.
They keep their eye on me. All right, Jeff. Hey, it's the Belmont. As soon as I saw that horse racing was going to be returning, I said I got to call Jeff Nash because I love your website, what you've been doing with it, and you grew up around horses. Tell our listeners real quick a little bit about your background because you grew up in New York.
I did. I grew up in Brooklyn. My dad used to pick my sister and me up and take us to the racetrack every weekend during visitation days, and and he used to drop us off to my mom and tell us, "Don't tell your mom we went to the racetrack." So that's how I learned to read the racing form, Billy.
You know, it kind of reminds me of Oscar Madison in The Odd Couple, where he had a cigar, he was at the track. You pick it up, had the paper in his hand. That was you, right, Jeff?
Yeah, that was me growing up, and fond memories, actually, in all truthfulness, with my dad. And my dad really taught me how to read the racing form and gave me the love that I have today for thoroughbred horse racing.
Jeffrey Nash is the handicapper at fastlanehandicapper.com. Go to his website, check it out before you place your bets today. And Jeff, how about this race? It's been running since 1867. That's time, man.
Yeah, and it's different than in past years, obviously. It's the Belmont Stakes that isn't, I call it, because usually it's the third leg of the Triple Crown. This year it's the first leg. Kentucky Derby will be in September, and then the Preakness is the finale this year in October. But most importantly, the Belmont usually runs at 1.5 miles. It's a grueling race that only the best and those with stamina can sustain. This year they're running it at 1.125 miles. Still a tough distance, but more doable than in past years. And
Jeff, I just wanted to say there's 10 horses entered in this field. Is that more than usual or less than usual?
Well, it's less than the first leg. Kentucky Derby usually has 20 horses to start the Triple Crown series. The Belmont, by the time it whittles down to the Belmont in normal years, 10 horses is not unusual. What is unusual this year is that there is one horse that is an absolute standout from the field of 10, and that is the number 8, Tiz the Law. On paper, this horse should win this race, but the odds are going to reflect that. The early odds are 6-5 in this horse. I suspect it's going to head on down to below 4-5. So if you want a winning ticket, I think the best bet is number 8, Tiz the Law, but you're not going to get much of a recovery. Many people, when they see this, they look to other horses that could possibly pull the upset. And if there is an upset, there's some precedent to that. Tiz the Law, the favorite, is a New York bred. And believe it or not, no New York bred horse has won the Belmont Stake, the home field advantage, since 1882. If this horse does, he'll be the first horse in over 100 years bred in New York to win the Belmont. And the second thing is that of the past 15 Belmont Stake races, only 3 favorites have won, 2 of which won the Triple Crown. So there is precedent for an upset in the Belmont Stakes. But this horse, this 8 horse, Tiz the Law, is on paper the best horse in the race. What I'm doing is looking to see what horse may inch their way past Tiz the Law. Maybe Tiz the Law does not win the race for whatever reason, and there are 1,000 variables. And I'm looking at 4 horses. I'm looking at the 1 horse, Tappet to Win. That's a front runner, and there's a chance that this Tappet bred horse will go wire to wire, and maybe, just maybe, Tizzalaw won't be able to catch him. The pure closer in the race is a horse named Sol Volante, the 2-horse. That horse has shown great ability to come from way back, and maybe he can overcome the favorite down the stretch. The 3rd horse is trained by Todd Pletcher, the famous Hall of Fame trainer Todd Pletcher. This horse, the 9-horse, Dr. Post, is the royalty in the race because as a yearling, this horse was purchased for $400,000, and when he was a baby. So somebody saw something in his conformation and breeding and attitude at that time that this horse could be special. He's only run 3 times before, so we don't know how good he can be. Maybe he'll break out in this race. And the last long shot that I'm looking at, and this is the one that I'm going to play along with Tiz the Law, is the 10-horse Pneumatic. Now, this horse has only run 3 times. He's won 2 of 3. The last race, he came in 3rd, but he lost to a horse named Maxfield, who was one of the top 5 thoroughbreds, 3-year-old thoroughbreds in the country. Maxfield is not running in the Belmont, but he only lost by 2 lengths. And I'm thinking that this horse, the 10-horse, has the potential to be a really good horse, maybe down the road. But if any horse can possibly upset the 8, Tiz the Law, I'm looking at a horse that may have the upside potential, and that would be the 10. So obviously, I like the 8-horse Tiz the Law to win. I think everybody in the country betting this race is going to feel the same. But I'm also looking with my exotics at the 1, the 2, the 9, and the 10.
We're talking with Jeffrey Nash from FastLaneHandicapper.com. And Jeff, this race will go off tonight at 5:42 in Belmont, New York. It's on NBC. These animals are so majestic. It's almost like they know what they're doing, don't they?
Yeah, there's you call it horse sense if you want, but they know that they are good. They know they're champions. They're bred to run. We always have to be careful to make sure that these horses are not running hurt. That is a critical factor in the sport. You saw some of the issues that they had in Santa Anita, but the trainers that are involved in this race are top quality trainers, and they take good care of their horses. You have 5 horses in the country that were the top 3-year-olds in the world. 4 of those horses are not running in this race. One of the horses, Nadal, which won the Arkansas Derby, has been retired because of an injury. And to the credit of Bob Baffert, they're not pushing these horses to run when they're not 100%. And that is very important for our sport.
Now, is that because of the schedule being like this is a shorter race? Usually the Belmont is 1.5 miles. Are they saving the horse, or is it just this is normal operating procedure?
No, I think some of them are saving the horse. There's a horse named AP Honor that decided to run in the Santa Anita Derby. For whatever reason, they scheduled the Santa Anita Derby at about the same time as the Belmont. So that horse decided to stay out on the West Coast. They had a couple of horses that had minor injuries, and they decided, like Bob Baffert, decided not to run Charleston, Charlatan, who also won the second leg of the Arkansas Derby, and they're holding him out probably for the Kentucky Derby. Now, I think all the best horses in the world will convene in Kentucky on September the 5th for the Kentucky Derby. That's still the crown jewel of the Triple Crown races. And we'll see. September 5th, it'll be different. No owners, no fans in the stands.
That'll be really weird.
Very weird.
Hey,
yeah,
Jeff.
It kind of takes the luster off of it.
Jeff, real quick, give us an exacta and your trifecta for tonight.
Well, I'm doing some boxes, but I'm including the 8. Tiz the Law, the favorite, because it's hard to see him not at least finishing in the money. But I'm also going to go with the number 10, Pneumatic, because I think he has a great upside potential. And the closer, Sol Volante. So I like the 8, 2, 10, or 8, 10, 2, or a box of those 3. But I'm also throwing in the 1 and the 9 in some of my superfectas and trifectas. So that's where my head's at right now. And I wish everybody great luck in the Belmont Stake, the first, believe it or not, of the Triple Crown Series.
All right, Jeff Nash, I'm so happy and thankful that you made time for us today. Check out his website, FastLaneHandicapper.com. It's Jeffrey Nash. We'll see you at the races, Jeff.
All right. Thank you, Billy. Thanks to all the fans out there.
was Jeffrey Nash of www.fastlanehandicapper.com. Get all his picks on his website. Real nice looking website, and that's Jeffrey Nash. Want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents and brokers, lenders, home builders and developers, and attorneys to facilitate real estate purchases, construction, and refinances. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information about Surety, please call our good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Ocean City's real estate market is red hot, and you need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out the website at grimes.com. All right, when we return, it'll be the push to get Brian Propp into this Hall of Fame, the Hockey Hall of Fame with Doug Crossman. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Scotty McKay on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app.